Hey guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes. How are you all? Welcome back to all my returners and hi to any newbies. It's so great to have you here. Please do stick around a while. And if you like what you see, give me a thumbie. They are free and help a lot. Yes, they do. So you are back today for the weekly episode of Crochet Catch Up. And that is where I fill you in on all the crochet I have managed to get done in the past week. Sometimes there are other crafty products that I have been doing that are not crochet, but I include them as well because my channel is Manfa's Makes and it is makes that I have done. So, as you know, even though you're seeing this a week in advance, I have been enjoying a week off of work at the time of filming, and I have managed to get quite a bit done. Having time off work really helps with your crafting time. However, crafting doesn't pay the bills, so I will not ever be in a position to give up work, but that's okay. When I get some breaks, I will endeavour to do loads and loads and loads as much as I can because it really is my therapy, and you need to check out from the hustle and bustle from time to time. You really do. So what have I got for you today? I have 3 FOs and 2 whips to show you. Yes, I know, right? So I am going to do these in the order that I did them. Why not? So we're going to have a bit of a mixture. So you might remember last week I showed you the completed baby blanket that I did using the lovey-dovey stitch from Creative Grandma. I will link Creative Grandma in the description box and the tutorial as well. I was using the Sunflower Spectrum Yarns DK. Sunflower Yarn Spectrum DK, get the words in the right order, in the colourway of Pisces. I still have a little bit left of the 2 cakes from the blanket. These are the colours that are in the Pisces colourway. So I still have a fair chunk. So I'm thinking this might be another project to go with that baby blanket. But I did make a little project for that baby blanket as a, a little set. And this is something that I have never ever made before in my life. Oh, and I found another smidgy bit of yarn as well. So plenty enough to do another project. So just a brief recap. Here is the lovey-dovey baby blanket that I finished and showcased last week. And even though I am a firm believer that colour has no gender, to me that is more of the feminine girly palette. But if boys want it, boys can have it. And I was thinking I still have 2 cakes left over. I don't want the cakes to go back into stash. I need to use them up. So I thought, what could I make? And I have hinted at this project in the tag video that you will have seen on Tuesday. I thought I would make a crocheted baby romper. So I went searching online and I, for the life of me, cannot remember which video I watched. So let me see if I can quickly search it up for you. I'll leave a link to the tutorial in the description box anyway. I want to say Crochet by Noella, but I'm not 100% sure. Yes, Crochet by Noella. So I will link her down in my description box as well, so that if you feel like you would like to make one as well, you will have the link for that pattern to access. Now, because this cake is self-striping, for the most part, I didn't colour control, but I did colour control slightly, especially when it came to the shoulder straps and frills. I didn't want mismatched coloured shoulder straps. My OCD just would not let me. I am not diagnosed OCD, but I reckon if I did go for diagnosis, I would indeed be diagnosed. This is so pretty, so dainty. And you've got to remember, guys, I'm a boy mum. I had 3 sons. And I did not learn to crochet until all my babies were way past making baby clothes. I do have 2 nephews, but one is now 7 and one is now 3. And for reasons that I'm not going to get into, when they were tiny, they weren't in my life. I'm so thankful and grateful they are now. I love them as if they were my own children. But I have never had littlies to crochet for. I still don't have littlies to crochet for, but now that I am doing this charity donation drive, I took the opportunity to delve into a world that I have never delved into before. Like I said, I'm a boy mum. I've never done the newborn baby girl thing. Even Mike's daughter was nearly 6 by the time she got to me. So this is all brand new territory for me, and I loved every single stitch that I put into this item. It gave me so much joy. I can't even describe it to you. And even though I'm never going to see this on the baby that it gets given to, I know that they're going to be so super cute. And that is enough for me. So the charity drive that I am helping to donate to is my beautiful yarny bestie Christina over at Bella and Janetto. I'll put her channel link down in the description as well. She is a teacher. She lives in Sicily but works on a US military base as a teacher, and one of her friends has decided that she'd like to put together hampers for new expectant mothers and new babies that are on the military base, so that when the precious new bundle arrives, there is a lovely handmade hamper gifted to them, filled with love and care from people, in this case from another part of the world. And I did just concentrate on blankets for a little minute, but I just decided that I had 2 cakes and I needed to use some of it up. But it didn't use up as much as I thought, because duh, it's a tiny little baby outfit. But like I said, I went scrolling through YouTube, baby crochet items and things, and I stumbled across this romper and I just felt compelled to make it. Like I said, whole new world for me, but it has ignited a whole new, like, oh, I could really get into this. And it matches lovely with the blanket as well. So I will show you this that I am so proud of. Another thing that I'm super proud of as well. Well, let me show you and we'll get into that. So here we go. Look how stinking cute that is. Honestly, I am so in love with this. I cannot even tell you how much. So as you can see, under the frou-frou dress part of the romper, there is obviously the bit that sits over the nappy and buttons up. And then you've got the dress part, and then you've got these beautiful thin straps at the side with a lot of frill on the edge to match the bodice piece. Isn't that just so adorable? I absolutely love it, and I hope that the mum that gets this for their babby is happy with it as well. So the other thing that I'm really proud of myself, and you're all gonna roll your eyes and go, really, Manfa? Yes, really. I have very rarely sewed buttons onto items because I don't do a lot of wearables. I even had to watch a YouTube tutorial, guys. And as I was making this, I really was going to cop out, and I was going to take this to my mum and ask her to sew on the buttons for me. But I thought, no, pull up your big girl panties, Crack on with it. You're a grown-ass woman. You can put buttons on your own items. And that is exactly what I did. And I knew what buttons I wanted to put on there. These are the Crystal Buttons by Hobie. In retrospect, I do have a larger size in these. These are 12 millimeters. Obviously, it's just the empty packet. There was 4 in here. Now that they're on the outfit, maybe I should have used slightly bigger buttons, but it's okay. But yeah, I sewed the buttons on as well, and this is what they look like. They're the little crystally, sparkly ones. So you've got 2 on the bit that goes over the nappy, and then you have got 2 that secure the straps to the back of the romper here. And they are on the inside, so you can't see them. But yes, I am in love. It's pretty, it's girly, it's dainty. I mean, can you imagine just having this gorgeous new baby in this gorgeous girly frilly outfit? Oh my gosh. I'm just in love, guys. And I managed to incorporate all the colours of the cake as well, which was really satisfying and worked out really well. Like I said, I did pull one of the cakes apart so that I had this pale pink for both straps and the frills on the straps. And to top it off, not only was I so super proud of myself and so in love with this make, I showed it to Mike and I didn't expect any kind of reaction from him because yes, he did a stint here on the channel where I taught him to crochet. He joined in for a bit. He's now no longer crocheting. He's realised that it isn't really an addictive hobby for him like it is for me. But he has always made it clear that even though he can appreciate the skill involved with crochet and the time and the effort it takes to make things, the look of crochet and even the look of knit for him isn't his aesthetic. He would never wear crochet. He would rarely wear any knit. And it stems from when he was a small child, he always got given hand knitted sweaters and things from his nan. And I don't want to dog anyone for their crafting, but let's just say his nan wasn't as proficient as she thought she was at her knitting, and he got ridiculed quite a bit for the knitted sweaters and things that he was made to wear that his nan had made him. So from a young early age, he has built this resistance to crocheted and knitted items. You know, I'm not judging. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. That is just his experience. I am not judging. But I showed him this baby romper and I nearly cried, and I might cry again, because when I held it up to him, the first thing he said was, oh, the shoulders are a bit wide, aren't they? So I explained, no, this is the tiny little strap here. So between here and here is the strap. The rest is just decorative frill. So I kind of showed him like that. It would sit on the shoulder like a bit like a puff sleeve. And he was like, oh, that makes more sense. So when he could actually see the construction a little bit better, when I walked him through it, he said, that is really pretty. I said, really? He said, yeah. I said, oh. He said, actually, if you were around when Kaylee was a baby, which is his daughter, I would have dressed her in that. I would have asked you to have made one in every colour. It is absolutely adorable. And for a man who really can't get on board with crochet or knit clothing, to turn around and say that something I had made, he would have happily dressed his tiny baby daughter in if I was around, was just the biggest compliment I could have ever received from that man. Honestly, I was blown away. Now, I'm not really sure what size this is. It didn't really kind of clarify. I would say 0 to 3 months. but it's been a long time since I've had a tiny, tiny little bambino in my arms, so I might be wrong. But because this is going to a family that lives on the island of Sicily, their summers get incredibly hot. So even if they use the blanket for bringing it home or tummy time or when it's chilly of an evening, this they can save until the baby is big enough in the summertime. And in the hot, warm weather, if you imagine a little baby grow or a little white cotton baby, you know, kind of short sleeve underneath this and this over the top, it would be so cute. And this covers up the nappy so they're not, you know, they're fully covered and contained. I also, and this this might be a little bit too much information, but I also wanted to start on the more mauvey colour here for the bit that wraps around the nappy, because I thought we don't want this beautiful creamy white in case there's a punami. And if you know, you know. Okay, so there we go. There is my gorgeous little baby romper that I am just so incredibly proud of. And it will just, oh, the thought of a tiny baby wearing this and looking so cute is just adorable. So now my question to you guys is, with the rest of the yarn that I've got left, and as you can see, I've still got some of every colour, would you make, because this is more of a summer item, would you make like a summer bucket hat type hat to go with the dress so it's like a complete summer outfit? Would you go for one of those little hair bands or headbands with the big bow that you see a lot of babies wearing? I don't know how I feel about them. If I was to have a baby girl, I don't know. It would be a let's see what it looks like type thing for me, but I know they're super popular. You know the ones I mean, the band that goes over the head with the bow, or even a flower, although I'm thinking bow. So that it's a matching thing with the romper. Or would you make a little cardigan or a little sweater for chillier evenings or when it starts getting a bit colder in the colder months, so that the ensemble that I'm given lasts across the seasons? What would you do? I need some help. So a summer bucket hat, a headband with a big bow, or a cardigan. Where would you go with the next thing for this set that I seem to be making? Let me know your thoughts, because I am torn and undecided, and that is why I didn't continue with this project, because I was unsure of what I wanted to make. I thought I would get your guys' feedback and, you know, a feeling for what the majority of what you guys would do. But yes, I love it. It's adorable. It's so cute. I'm so proud of myself. I sewed the buttons on all by myself like a big girl. And the man that hates crochet and knitwear even said he would have dressed his tiny little baby daughter in it if I had been in his life back then. That is why that is the most favourite thing I have made this year so far, going back to the tag video on Tuesday. And I hope you can appreciate and understand my absolute ecstatic joy about that. So that was the first thing that I got on my hooks and then off my hooks. I did use a 4mm dots for that one. There we go. And like I said, you've seen that there's leftover yarn, so I can't claim these yet because I haven't used them all. And this is the packaging for the buttons. And I think I got them either as part of my Hobie order once, or maybe even Happy Mail, because I know Yarny Fairy Godmother has sent me lots of little notiony bits and pieces in her packages as well. So, but they're from Hobie regardless. So I did the romper, so super proud of myself about that. Really, really enjoyed it. Another FO and another beautiful piece to put with that blanket. The next thing I did is not crochet, but there is still more crochet to come. So don't click off yet. There's still more to show you, okay? And there is another thing sat beside me just off camera that I, again, am just so incredibly proud of myself. I don't know what came over me this week, guys. Remember, you are enough. Sorry, just called it in the camera, but you are enough. Oh, we'll get to that in a minute. Right, so the next thing I did is, if you've been here a while, you will know that I enjoy diamond painting. I sometimes do diamond painting videos on the channel, and normally I do like the pictures. But some of you may remember that in past Temu hauls, and there has been several, I found cards, greeting cards that you could diamond paint on the front of. And I had some happy mail that I needed to send out. So for you watching now, it was last week in my week off. And I really wanted to add that extra touch of sending the message in a card that I had been crafting on. So I pulled out a pack of those greeting cards, and now I've got the bug. I think I've got another 4 or 5 packs of greeting cards, and I think what I'm going to do is I am going to start them on my diamond painting video for the month of June and turn the camera off and then just do another pack of cards. And I think I'm just going to concentrate on the greetings cards for a little bit until all the packs are done. A, to get them out of my stash in the fact that they're completed, but B, if I have happy mail to send, if I have a birthday for someone really special, I will have a stockpile of crafted greeting cards to send something that little bit extra. Do you see what I mean? And I won't have to go to the shop to buy a card either. So yeah, I'm a little bit obsessed. So I grabbed a pack of those diamond painted cards from Temu out of my stash. That there's a big box that lives at the top of this unit. This unit goes all the way up to my ceiling, and there's a small gap, and I've shoved a box full of all my diamond painting supplies up there. Now, I only have 5 to show you now because one of them, like I said, has already gone off in Happy Mail, and hopefully that recipient will receive that Happy Mail very, very soon. So I picked out the pack with dragonflies, butterflies, and hummingbirds. So here is the first one. The card itself is that holographic, iridescent, sparkly. And then you have the, oh, let's put it in the ring light. Oh, yeah. And then you have the diamond dots there. And because it's only sticky where you have to place the diamond dots, when I was worried that when I put it in the envelope, it was going to stick to the envelope and ruin the design. But there is no stickiness after you have put the dots where they need to be. It's not like they've put the stickiness over the whole front. It's just the areas that need the diamonds. So there is no stickiness to this whatsoever, which is fabulous. And I'm not going to seal these because I don't want the sealer to interfere with the holographic iridescent. But there is the first dragonfly on its beautiful flowers. On the back of every single one, they have printed this beautiful design as well. So you're like, oh, isn't that gorgeous? Oh, isn't that gorgeous? And then these ones are just blank inside for your own message. Oh, there's a bit of smush in that one. That's disappointing. Anyway, so there we go. There's a dragonfly. Here is a beautiful butterfly on beautiful flowers. Absolutely stunning. So sparkly. I would be really chuffed to get one of these cards in Happy Mail. So there's that one. Then we have a gorgeous hummingbird. Look at that one. Sorry if you can hear my stomach rumbling. I haven't eaten yet today. Naughty Manfa. And again, the same design on the back. Here is a different hummingbird with different colours and different flowers. That one's just as gorgeous. And they are all the holographic iridescent card as well. And then finally here is another butterfly. Really, really enjoyed doing these. I am obsessed. And the card that was sent in Happy Mail was another dragonfly, but I obviously can't show you because it's gone. So it comes with the envelopes as well. So that's 5 greeting cards, diamond painted greeting cards that I have done and dusted and got out of my stash. So yay, another FO for me. And like I said, I plan to do more in the very near future. Okay, what did I do next? Okay, next I picked up my Christmas, not traditional Christmas mosaic blanket. Let me just take a sip of my tea. I've been talking quite a bit. Do apologise. Plus, I don't like letting my tea go cold. Which is the Yuletide mosaic blanket from Tina Thorodottir Thorvalda. I will put a link to that pattern in the description box. I got it from Ravelry. It is a paid for pattern, so please only purchase if you're in a position to do so. Do not put yourself into any financial difficulty. And the beauty of this blanket, and I've forgotten to bring you the front of the pattern to show you, but it's kind of like a build your own blanket. I chose to do the medium size, and that is done in 7 design segments, so 7 strips of different designs. The last time I showed you, I had just finished the 3rd section of design. Well, I had finished the 3rd section of design and I had done a smidgy bit on the 4th section. I can now tell you that I have finished the 4th section. I managed to get a decent amount of crochet in on this. And that means that I only have 3 sections and this one will be done, apart from the double envelope border, which we're not even going to think about yet because no. But please do check out Tina. She's got a YouTube channel, which I'll link. She's got lots of beautiful mosaic designs. And if you're looking at getting into mosaic, she is the one that I went to start my mosaic journey. Now, the yarn that I am using for this one, like I said, it is a Christmas blanket, but it's not traditional because, hey, it's me. My name's Manfa, and I don't always do traditional. You will all know that my favourite colours are pink, rainbow and sparkle. For this one, I am using my 4.5mm dots. There we go. The pink that I am using is a yarn from Ice. I have packs and packs and packs of it, all gifted to me by Yarny Fairy Godmother. So this is going to eat up quite a bit of my stash of these. They come in little donuts. It's the Baby Merino DK. And it's in this gorgeous baby pink, as you can see. It is 40% merino wool, 20% polyamide and 40% acrylic. They are 50-gram donuts, approximately 100 meters, which is about 109 yards-ish. 4 to 5mm needles. There's no hook recommendation. It is a DK or a lightweight 3. Wash up to 30 degrees Celsius. Do not iron, do not bleach. Made in Turkey. And that is literally all you get from the yarn bands. So my main colour is this gorgeous baby yummy pink. And then I am on my second cake. And in the second cake, I only have this much left. So we're making good progress on that second cake. But I have pulled out a full one for you to see. This again is the Sunflower Spectrum DK yarns, like the baby romper and the baby blanket that I just showed you. But that one was Pisces. This one is Aquarius, and it is the rainbow. And I did buy 10 of these cakes originally to make myself a rainbow duster cardigan. But then I started putting it in this blanket and I don't regret it. And if I want more, I can go and buy more. But this is absolutely stunning. These are 100-gram cakes, approximately 360 meters or 394 yards. They're 100% acrylic. Machine wash up to 30 degrees. Do not iron, do not tumble, do not bleach. But it's acrylic, it should be fine. But because the pink is merino, I would do it on a very cool wash. And like I said, colour 005 or Aquarius. And it is stunning. It really, really is. It is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful rainbow. And it's even more beautiful in real life because my camera washes it out. But it is yummy, yummy, scrummy in my opinion. So pink and rainbow for Christmas, why not? My blanket, my life, my choice. So now I am going to try and get the blanket to a point where you can see where I was. So we'll see what I did. previously. And it's going to be tricky, but it's all right. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Okay, so to begin with, I did a strip at the bottom of different Christmas tree designs and motifs, as you can see there along the bottom. Then we moved into the different Advent stars. Okay. Sorry, I'm doing a real rubbish job of showing this. Then we moved up to the hearts. They're all the same. And then as you can see where that stitch marker is, I was just a tiny bit into the snowflake. So we've already got quite a bit done. I am absolutely loving it. But like I said, I managed to get the snowflake completed. So it's all the same snowflake all the way across. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous, if I do say so myself. So that is where I was. Okay, and I have done everything above it. So I have done from here all the way up here, which doesn't look a lot, but you've got to understand, let me do it so that you can see, every row is actually 2 rows. You've done the pink and you've done the colour, so that's 2 rows. So I've actually put in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28 rows. That doesn't look like 28 rows, but it is 28 rows. And with mosaic, you have to be careful of your stitch placement, and you have to count, and you have to pay attention. But there we go. I am 4 designs in, guys. What do you think? So the next design is going to be all of the same design across as well, is the bell. So I'm going to quickly flash a picture of the chart. So put whatever you're doing down, look at the camera, because it's only going to be there for a couple of seconds because I can't, it's a paid pattern. Ready? The bell. And there we go. That's the design I will be putting in next. So yes, I got that 4th section completed, which now means that I am over halfway and we are steaming ahead, because this is one of my spinny selections. This is only my 2nd spinny selection, and I do want to get more of those spinny selections done this year, so I need to power through with that one. So yes, section 4 of that one done. Now, I know I was going to show you in order, but I'm going to save the next thing that I did next. I'm actually going to save till last, because just this morning on the day of filming, which is Saturday the 31st of May, just this morning I did one of these. So if you were watching my tag video on Tuesday, you will know that I was crocheting at the same time as answering the questions, and that I decided to do 6-inch granny squares for the Generous Crafters, which is the charity that Rose from Rose Likes Crochet is supporting this year. I will put a link to Rose in my description box. Please go over and check her out, see what that's all about, and see if you are in a position to help. But no pressure, no worries if you can't. It's absolutely fine. But I've decided that I have so many scraps that need using up that I would much rather they get put to good use. And one of the things that they are asking for all year round are 6-inch granny squares. I love making granny squares. I don't like putting granny squares together, but I don't need to worry about that. They're going to put the squares together at their end. So when I was doing that tag video, you know that I already got these 2 done. I have now weaved in the ends and tidied them up. That finished off a scrap, so that yarn label can be claimed because I've now used all of that yarn. That was an ice yarn as well, actually. Let me see if I can find the ball band for it. It is in here somewhere. I think it's got buried. Here it is. So I can now claim this one. And it was... Oh no, the tape's ripping it. It was Puzzle Baby by Ice. Just had a smidgy bit of that scrap left. And 100% acrylic, 200 grams, 610 meters. So, I don't know, about 640 yards-ish. It's a fine weight number 2, although, I mean, it's between a 2 and a 3. Made in Turkey, do not iron, do not bleach, 30 degrees Celsius. This is left over from a shawl hug that I made for Yarny Fairy Godmother and gifted it to her, and it was a OM Granny Square pattern. Can't for the life of me think what that pattern was now. I think it was the half moon one that she did. But this was left over from that project. So, and I did that 2 years ago now. So this scrap has been languishing in my scrap bin for 2 years. And I've now used every single little bit of it. So now this yarn label is going in my totals for the year. That's how I roll. I do not include yarn labels until every single little bit of it's been done. So I got these 2 done doing that tag video. And then this morning I pulled out another scrap that I needed to use up. This is the yarn that I used for that chicken pillow that I made a couple of weeks back using the Premier Dotty. Lightweight 3. 656 yards, 600 meters. It was a 200 gram skein. It was a big old skein in the color Buttercup. I'm not going to give you any more details than that. You can still get it from Premier. I've still got quite a bit of that scrap to use, so I thought that I would double strand it in my 6-inch granny squares. A, to eat it up quicker, but B, to make them more squishy and doesn't take so long to knock them up. So I just did one this morning while I had my morning cup of tea in bed. Done all the ends and stuff. So I was a good girl, tied all my ends in. So I have got 3 granny squares on the go so far for June to go to Rose for her to give to charity. So that's a good start on my 6-inch granny squares. I've got a label that I can claim. And for the granny squares, I am using my 6mm dots. So that was just a quick, I try and do these squares when I know I've only got like 20 minutes or so. Like when I was doing that tag video, I didn't just want to sit here chatting at you. I was actually using my time wisely and being productive. So that is when I will get the little hearts done or the granny squares done, you know, all my little tiny scrappy charity makes. I kind of intersperse them in just short little bits of time that I have throughout the month. And then we see how many we've got at the end, basically. So that actually was what I managed to do. Well, two of them yesterday, because I actually filmed them on Friday, but you're seeing it on Tuesday of the following week. Let's not get into that. That's confusing. I've managed to get 3 done so far this month. Let's leave it at that. Let's not confuse the situation, Manfa. And then this last thing that I am going to show you, I am very unlikely to ever make another one, especially out of this yarn. Now, if you've known me for a little while, if you've been here for a little while, you will know that there aren't that many yarns that I won't use. I am not keen on chenille. I am not keen on eyelash. I am not keen on fur and, you know, the more novelty yarns. And I have never used blanket yarn until now. And I don't think I'm going to be repeating the process. I don't know. Never say never. Like I said again in that tag video, I struggled. It was frustrating. Sadly, there wasn't a lot of love put into this project because I was just like, oh, I don't like it. It was very alien for me because it's not yarn that I use regularly. Now, like I said, never going to say never. I know I'm not going to rush out and buy a load of it. If I get gifted some, I will put it to use, but I'd rather not. Just FYI. But if I'm asked to, required to, need to, then I will. Let's put it like that. Well, let me tell you a little bit of a story. I know I've already kept you for nearly 40 minutes, but this is the last thing, I promise. A couple of years ago, my auntie, so my mum's sister, Shelley, she told me that she had either been given or she had bought herself a crochet kit. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. She said that she used to do some crochet in her earlier years, but she hadn't done it for many, many, many years. So she was going to attempt this crochet kit. And I was like, well, what is it? And she said that it was an amigurumi llama. And I said, okay, but if you haven't crocheted for years, that might be a little bit tricky-some for you to pick up the hook and jump straight in. I mean, hey, if it works, all power to you. But I'm thinking, there could be trouble ahead with this. But I was encouraging and I said, go for it. And I was around if she needed help, etc. But the problem is they live over 100 miles away from us, you know, about a 4-hour car journey. So, apparently she attempted it. She realised it was way beyond her capabilities. So she then got a hold of me and said, look, I can't do it. I've tried. Is there any chance you can do it for me? So I've never seen this crochet kit. I didn't even know what it looked like. I didn't know what the materials were. I didn't know anything. But because she's my auntie and I love her, I said, yeah, sure, not a problem. It then took her a couple of years to remember to pass it on to me. So when she came down to visit my mum and stuff, she would forget it and time passed and I had forgotten all about it. Well, I think it was about 2 weeks ago now. I went round my mum and dad's for our Sunday that we have every other week with my nephews, and we have a roast dinner and it's gorgeous. And my mum came out to the garden where I was sat watching the children playing, and she dumped this crochet kit in front of me, and she said, that's from your Auntie Shelley. She said you're going to make it for her. And I went, oh, okay. And I didn't look at it. I was distracted. I was, keeping an eye on the kids. Didn't think nothing of it. I said, oh, yeah, I've totally forgot about that. Yeah, sure, no problem. Thanks for giving it to me. Well, after I'd finished supervising the kids and, because they were playing with the water and got them dried and dressed and, they were settled with an ice lolly and stuff, I actually turned around to look at this crochet kit properly. And I went, oh, no, what have I done? I don't think I can do this. And Mum said, why not? You're brilliant. You can turn yarn into anything you put your hand to, put your mind to. You're brilliant. You can do it. Cheers, Mum, for the props. Thanks for, the faith and the belief in me. But I went, yeah, but I don't use that yarn. I don't do that. Like, no thank you. And she said, oh, go on, you'll be fine. So it comes with little plastic hooks and stuff inside it. It's a complete kit. And I pulled it out and I thought, oh, let's just have a quick go. I got a magic ring and one row in and I went, I cannot use these hooks. I'm not saying I can't do it, but I can't use these hooks. So let's show you what the kit is. This is a kit from here in the UK and it uses UK terminology. So I also had to convert the stitches as well. This is what my auntie wanted me to make. This is the Knitty Critters collection from Creative World of Crafts. Never heard of them, never seen them, know nothing about them. Designed and produced in Great Britain down here. And this is Lulu Llama. Now personally, and again, it's each to their own, everyone has different tastes. Personally, for me, that is one ugly looking llama. Like, there are so many more beautiful crochet patterns out there than that. And I don't mean to be disrespectful. This is just my opinion, but no thank you. But this is what my auntie wanted. Lulu Llama. Okay. The Knitty Critters collection. On the back, it shows you others that you can make. And again, there are much nicer patterns out there. I have no idea what this cost. I don't know where it came from. I don't know anything about it. But it comes with 320 grams of Banat yarn, one 8mm crochet hook, one 5mm crochet hook, 200 grams of toy stuffing, length of yarn for features, easy to follow crochet pattern, suitable for confident beginners. This is what I was tasked with, okay? So let me open it up for you. You're already seeing Manfa's panic and struggle, aren't you? Because Manfa doesn't use this yarn. So inside, obviously, I've used it all and I, you know, whatever. But these are the hooks that were in the kit. Just literally, like I said, generic plastic hooks. There is no way that I could use Banat blanket yarn with these. Awful. Not happening. There was also a length of thinner black yarn for the features. That's all that's left. It then came with this Banat blanket from Yarnspirations. Lovely, like vintagey, creamy colour. It is 5.3 ounces, 150 grams, 108 yards or 98 metres, 100% polyester. It is a super bulky 6. We all know that Manfa's favourite yarn is a DK. Recommends 8mm needles, 8mm hook, machine washable and dryable. Do not iron, do not bleach, I don't know what that one means. And this is in vintage white, okay? I'm sure you can still get this, and it is gorgeously soft. I have no issue with how this yarn feels, but it is just not my thing at all. So you got this one in the vintage white, and then you got one in Sand Baby, because this is Banat blanket, no, Banat baby blanket. Are the specs the same? No. So this one's slightly smaller. It's 3.5 ounces or 100 grams, 72 yards or 65 meters. So actually it's a lot smaller. Again, 100% polyester. All the same stats as before. Super bulky 6 in the colour Sand Baby. And that's what I've got left of this one. And then for the hat and the poncho that it's wearing, they sent Banat Softy Chunky. I do not like this yarn. It feels absolutely vile. It is gross. This is not for Manfa at all. This is 2.8 ounces or 80 grams, 100% acrylic, approximately 77 yards or 70 meters. Again, super bulky 6. Again, all the same stats. This is in the colour Schoolyard. Beautiful rainbow. I'm not complaining about the colour, but the feel of it is just, ugh. I don't like it. I struggled with it. Not my bag at all. There were then 2 bags of the polyester stuffing. As you can still see, I've still got a load left. I'm thinking I probably needed to stuff it a little bit more, considering I had so much left. But because I don't work with this yarn, I'm not familiar with this yarn, I didn't know. I didn't want to overstuff it. I didn't want it to be too solid. I just went with my best judgment. Hey, I've got some leftover stuffing that I can use. It recommends an 8mm hook, but I couldn't find one, so I used a 9mm. This is a Clover and More plastic one. And then for the 5mm, I pulled out a trusty 5mm Clover and More. And then, of course, it does come with the pattern booklet as well. Like I said, this is UK terminology, so I did have to convert. But because it is an amigurumi, guys, I just know that a UK double crochet is a US single crochet. And for the most part, that was the majority of the pattern, and we're all good. Now, for me, I think I did a bloody good job, and I'm so proud of myself that I didn't let it defeat me, that I persevered, that I got it done. I actually have what looks like a llama, but it's terrifying. I don't know what I did to its eyes, guys, but it is not. I was tempted to take them off and put some of my nice, glittery, pretty safety eyes in it instead, because this llama is... I wouldn't want to give it to a child. I know my auntie's not a child. I don't know what she intends to do with it. Hopefully she's just going to put it as like home decor or something. But my gosh, is this one ugly llama. I'm calling my own work ugly because of the pattern. To me, the pattern is awful. But again, that's just my opinion. But I have never oh, you got a sneak peek. I have never used this yarn in my life, and I did it. Terrifying. But here we go. Here's my llama. Not my llama, my Auntie Shelley's llama. I did not understand the instructions for the tail, so I made my own bit of design. What's it called? Artistic license. Did my own little tail there for him. But it works. I had lost all reasoning and sanity by the time I had done this, so I did not put a tassel on the poncho. I was done. The muzzle is a little bit wonk, is a little bit too low down. I should have gone up a little bit, I think, but I'm impressed with that embroidery job on the muzzle at least. The eyes are absolutely terrifying. I don't know what I did wrong with this eye. And then the hat got its little ear flaps in. And I did do the little tufts on the end, but I did not put a pom-pom on the top. I was not about to do that. I do not like making pom-poms, and I was over it. So no pom-pom and no tassel, but Lulu the llama is done. See, I think I needed a bit more stuffing in the neck. It is a little bit flippy-floppy, but it's not massively. I mean, she does have a little bit of a hello going on, but she's not bad. She's squishy, she's soft, she's cuddleable. Apart from that yarn, that don't like it. And yeah, I kind of just... I am so super proud of myself that I got it done. But I will not be racing to the stores to buy Banat blanket yarn. I will not now be pushing out loads of amigurumi in this yarn. I even did the toe things. So I am so proud of myself for persevering and pushing through and getting the job done. I hope that my auntie loves her, because that is a face only a mother could love. No disrespect. I'm glad she's not living with me here. I'm glad that, because I'm filming this on the Saturday, I am glad that tomorrow on the Sunday it is our weekend to go around my mum and dad's again. I will literally be going past that to Auntie Shelley the next time you see her. You're welcome. And getting her gone. Getting her gone, because no thank you. What do you think? Did I do all right? Are my stitches tight enough? I mean, you can't see any stuffing through it, but it did say 8mm and I used a 9, but I do crochet ridiculously tight anyway. There are no holes underneath. She's stitched right up. She's living her llama life in her jazzy rainbow hat and poncho. I don't want to repeat this process anytime soon. I know I keep saying it, but I really don't. But a first, a success-ish. But yeah, no thank you. No thank you. So there we go, Lulu the llama. And that is my week in crafting. So it really does pay for Manfa to have time off work, doesn't it, guys? It really, really does. I mean, a baby romper, 6 diamond painted cards, a whole section on my blanket, 3 granny squares, and a Banat baby blanket amigurumi. I mean, I feel like I have achieved loads this week. Do not expect this much next week, because I am back to work as of Monday. Remember, I'm filming on Saturday, so by the time you see this, I have been back to work for the last 4 days, so there will not be this much next week. But yeah, that is what I got done, and I am super, super, super chuffed with it. Remember to put in your comments, should I make a summer bucket hat or a big bow hairband or something else to go with that baby ensemble? Let me know your opinions on anything that I've shown you today. Any patterns and things and people that I've mentioned that I can link, I will link in the description box for you. We are now approaching another weekend ahead, and actually we do have plans this weekend, plans that I have made. I have booked a day date for me and Mike. I am not going to tell you what it is. He doesn't watch my channel, but it will be just my luck that he watches this video and he spoils finding out what my plans are for Saturday. So yes, I have booked a day date for us, and hopefully we will have a really good time. And then I plan to, on the following week, on the Monday, to tell you all about that day date, tell you all about that experience, and hold up my phone showing you pictures of what I took, because I don't edit. I can't put the pictures into like this stuff because I don't have the time to edit, people. And yeah, I'm just going to sit, tell you about our day date, show you pictures that I took, explain a little bit about where we went, and some of the history and stuff behind it, and have just a slightly different video for a Monday. So hopefully we are going to have, oh, excuse me, we are going to have a gorgeous time. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend to come. I appreciate you sitting here for nearly an hour with me. My gosh, you are rock stars. And that also shows how much extra crafting I got done, doesn't it? Because there's not been a nearly hour-long crochet catch-up for a while, guys. So there we have it. Thank you once again. I love you to absolute bits and pieces. And yeah, like I said, I hope the weekend ahead is a good one and next week is a good one for you as well. Until I see you next week, stay safe, be kind, look after one another, get some good quality time in with your loved ones, and get some good quality crafting time in. I will see you in the next one or around the YouTube streets. Bye guys, love you loads.